Hey guys, it's Kate from The Artery. Today we're going to do a portrait painting using two different color palettes, one realistic and the other one is up to you. You want to find a photo to reference for your portrait. It can be a photo of yourself or someone you know, or one that you find online. First, we're going to take a piece of watercolor paper. I'm using a sheet that's 9 inches by 12 inches, and we're going to use pencil to sketch out our portrait. You can make your portrait as detailed or as simple as you want. Just make sure to have nice outlines that you can fill in with your paint. I like to look at where the shadows and color changes are in my reference and use lines to mark out shapes so I know where to put my different paint colors. When you're happy with your portrait sketch, draw a line down the center, separating your portrait into two halves. For our first half, we'll focus on mixing realistic skin tones and trying to match the colors that we see in our reference image. For the second half, which will start next week, we're going to invent our own colors. Grab your paints and palette or a paper plate for mixing your colors. Also make sure to grab a couple paintbrushes, a cup of water, and maybe some paper towels for cleaning your brushes. It's important to use clean brushes when mixing new colors so you don't contaminate the paint and muddy your colors. Skin has a lot of different hues, tints, and shades. A hue is the color, red, green, blue, orange, any of the colors you would find in a tube of paint. When we mix a hue with white, creating a lighter or pastel color, that's called a tint. When we mix a color with black or a darker color, that's called a shade. For skin, we'll mostly be using red and pink hues, adding some yellow to get more orangey or peach hues, and adding white or black to make them lighter or darker. For my black, I usually just mix a little bit of blue, red, and a tiny bit of yellow to get a super dark shade. I don't usually like to use black out of the tube. Darker skin tones still use oranges and reds as a base, but we can add different amounts of blue and yellow to get the right shades of brown. I usually don't use black when mixing skin tones because it can make your skin tones look gray and flat. Adding hues instead can make your portrait look warmer and more lifelike. Try mixing a few different tints of orange and pink using your red, yellow, and white, and experiment with adding all of your primary colors together to create shades of brown and gray. Look at your photo and try to find all of the different colors you'll need when painting. If you mix your colors before you start painting, it makes the painting process a lot faster and easier. Most skin has an overall neutral color ranging from a light peach to a dark, warm brown. Shadows under the neck tend to be more gray or brown or even have a little blue in them. Highlights and areas of the face that reflect a lot of light tend to be more of a yellowish white color. In my photo, the model has very pale pink skin and her highlights are very pale pink, almost pure white. Certain areas of the face, such as the cheeks, eyelids, lips, ears, and the tip of the nose, tend to have more red in them because we're actually seeing the red of the blood vessels beneath the skin. When we blush or our face gets cold, blood flows to our cheeks and nose, which is why we get extra red in the face. Try and observe all the different hues you see in your photo. You may even find blues, purples, and yellows in different places. Add these hues to your neutral skin tone to create the different colors you need to paint your face. Eyes can be difficult to paint because we usually think of our eyeballs as being pure white. In reality, our eyeballs usually are a little bit more gray because they're in the shadow of our eyelids. So we're going to use a really light gray to paint the whites of the eyes. Choose a good color for the iris or the colored part of the eye, and we'll add the details such as the pupil, eyelashes, and highlights later on. Hair can be many different colors, but natural hair tends to range from very pale yellow to warm saturated reds to cool browns all the way to jet black. We're going to use a lighter tint for the large shape of the hair, then we're adding in a darker shade for the shadows. Last of all, we'll add in the highlights and any of our darkest areas such as the eyebrows, nostrils, and details in the eye. Next week, we'll continue working on the other half of our portrait. We'll have free rein to go crazy with the colors. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.